Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing an old box on TryHackMe called Res, and this was actually something that someone had commented about on one of my other videos. I'll put the comment up here, asking if I could take a look at it, and I did complete the room a while ago. I did try to go back through with my notes, and I think I found where this person was talking about that something has changed. Not sure, could have been the owner updated, but such an old box, I think that it may have just updated itself somehow. Not sure about it, but I'm going to do this updated walkthrough, and I tried to find another way to get the information and to do a privilege escalation. I came up with nothing. So if you find a way, or you find a write-up out there that actually details a different way than what I'm going to talk about in this video, by all means link it down in the comments so other people can be able to find it who need a little help. Alright, so we've got the box up and running, and the first thing we need to do is find out some information. Now the first 4 questions, if you simply start with this nmap command, that'll scan all the ports fairly fast and get you back which ones are open. Okay, so you can see we got our 3 ports open, and now to get the other information, of course, services redis is running on this port, but to get the actual version number, we'll simply run this command, targeting that specific port with the -scv, see what information we can get back. Okay, and there you go, we see we have this version. Also, if this was throwing you off right here, I simply have that set in my host file. As you can see here, I've got the IP of the box, and I got it set to res.thm, so I can just type this shorthand out and it still gets to the machine. Alright, so that takes care of our first 4 questions. The next one is asking about the user.txt and how do we get on there. And for that, I've left a link down in the comments to this. It's one of my favorite websites, book.hacktricks.wiki, and on this page, for pen testing Redis, if you scroll down, you'll get this web shell information here. And if you don't have this Redis-CLI installed, it's just simply sudo apt-get install redis tools, and that'll get it installed for you. And we're simply just going to follow these steps and create our own PHP file on the server basically. But instead of doing PHP info, we're actually going to set it up to where we can give it a command through the browser and it can return the result to us or open up a reverse shell. Okay, so using the Redis CLIA, you see that I've connected to the machine here. Okay, first thing to do is to configure our set directory where we want to work. Now this is your standard directory for your Apache servers. That's why we're using it. Our next command, we're going to set the database file name to redis.php. Now that's just basically telling you that in this instance we're in, when we write stuff to a file or a database file in this case, we want it to be saved in this redis.php, and that's going to be the website we'll visit to execute our attack. Okay, and we'll use set test. Test is going to be our keyword here, and that's beyond the scope of this video, but that's basically a way for Redis to make a link between these and know what to do. And we're just going to pass in this PHP system get command. So when we access it in the browser, where you're going to use the ! command equals, and it will pass that into here and it'll actually run this. So this is the PHP code to run system commands if you didn't know. And then we just type save, make sure it says okay, and we can exit. So of course, if we visit the open HTTP port, we are going to get the default Apache here, just letting us know that the Apache server set up. And as you can see here, replace this file. There's that var www.html that I was talking about. So to access our file, we'll just come up here, type in redis.php, and if we go straight to it, we get this jarbledy-gook back. And if we do $cmd equals ID, let me type it in correctly, we run it. Now you can see we get the results of the ID command. So how do we do a reverse shell with this? Let's come over to our terminal and set up netcat to be listening. You can use IPA, and you'll look for tunnel 0 if you are connected through a tunnel. If you're using the attack box, it should be your ETH0 or something like that. But this will be the IP address we want to connect to, so I'm just going to copy it real quick. Come back up here, do netcat, put in the IP address and the port we are listening on, -e and bin bash, and that tells it when you connect, run this command. And we hit enter. As you can see on mine, the little thing is going back and forth saying the connection is still open. We come over here, we see we are connected. Okay, first thing you want to do is get a stable shell. So we'll use this Python command. There we go. Made it a little bit bigger so it should be easier to see for you. We'll use this Python command to spawn up a shell. And the next thing we want to do that I like to be able to use the clear command. And to do that, we're just going to do export term equals xterm, hit enter. and now the clear command works. So the first thing we want to do is change to home directory and take a look. And we got a couple of users here. And this Ubuntu one is typically going to be what the creator of the box uses while they're working on it. So we want to take this one and just do ls and that. And there is a user.txt in there. If you can see up here, read permissions is for others as well. So we can actually change into that directory. And read is set for everybody. So we can actually just cut out user.txt. Okay. So this is where I'm guessing that the commenter ran into a hitch when they were working with other walkthroughs and trying to figure out what's happening. Originally in this room, it was a SUID exploit, and you found it by running this. We use find command. We want to search from the root, and we're looking for permissions, and -4000 is the SUID. I like to do this -ls because this runs the lsal command on the file, so you can see everything about them. And then any errors, we want to pass that on to null and I'll print out to the screen. Okay, I adjust my terminal so it's a little bit easier to read the output. Now as you can see, like right here, we've got the sudo command. And if you look in the user, there's an S where there should be an X. So that's how you know the sticky bit for the user ID is set. If it was a sticky group ID, this would be an S. And then actually both of them can be S's as well. Now originally you used the command xxd as the exploit on this. But currently, the sticky bit has been removed from the xxd command. So what you would have done would have been what gtfo bin suggests right here, file read. You could simply run xxd, path of the file you want to read, pipe it, xxd-r, and you would have been able to read the contents. And you're supposed to do this on the etc shadow file. And once you did, you would have found that user, Bianca, and you would have gotten a hash for her right here, and you simply would have copied it and saved it into a file and then read John on it. We'll do that real quick. Okay, so I got it to work. I forgot that John stores everything in a .pop file, which on Kali will be in your main user directory under a .john folder, and you can just run echo. You can just run this command to blank the file out, or just simply use the rm command on it. But when you run John, it'll go through and it'll crack it pretty quick. So from this point, you had two options. Using the xxd, just like you got the hash from the shadow file, you could actually just point it to the root.txt and get it, or you could simply use su command, Bianca. Sorry, I had an error and I had to go back and reset everything up. But if you just use the su Bianca, put in that password, then you're as her. And then if you run the sudo-l command, give it that password, you can see that this user can run everything. So sudo su changes you to root. And then from there, you can get to the root directory. And there's your file. So yeah, that's the res room. This is an updated walkthrough for considering the fact that the commonly known exploit doesn't work anymore. And I've looked through several walkthroughs. I'm actually attempting to reach out to the box creator right now to see if I can get any information from him. But by all means, if any of you happen to find an exploit that works, or you're able to find someone else who did a walkthrough that helps get around the issue, or if you find someone else with a walkthrough that shows a different exploit in order to either pivot to Bianca or be able to read that shadow file, by all means, leave that information in the comments so others can find it. And if I see anything, I'll definitely go take a look at it and may do an edit to this video. Thank you for watching all the way through. I really do appreciate it. If you like it, please give the video a like. And if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. And I hope you've had a great week, and I'll see you next time.